A busy week for you on this edition of Buc Update Central, the weekly ETSU Athletics Highlight Show. And I'm Parker Schwartz. Well, a couple new sports to talk about, track and field and women's tennis, both in Blacksburg, Virginia, and Virginia Tech University. We also have highlights from men's and women's basketball. Women's basketball team looked for a perfect week as they played UNCG over at Brooks. The goal for the Bucs, get toward the middle of the conference race. A loss could put the team, though, in a big hole. Great start as Shamaria Bridges nails the jumper. A 7-0 run for ETSU. Things tightening up later in the half, but a rare three-pointer from Micah Norris keeps the narrow lead with the Bucs. Just a 2-point affair after 2 periods. Right off the bat in the second stanza, UNCG firing away. A 7-0 run as the Spartans grabbed their first lead. ETSU needed someone to take this thing over, and that was Shamaria Bridges. She saved her best for last in the second half. Look at that silky smooth Euro step. One of the best you'll see all year. She finished with a team-high 17. Just when you thought things were safe, the Spartans with a 7-1 run. We had Bridges, though, in the third to stop the momentum. She did it again with a 3-point finisher, and that's what the Bucs needed. ETSU 60, UNCG 52, the final. Trying to stay perfect for the week, the Catamounts in town. This one ended up being a runaway from the get-go. ETSU shot over 50% in the game. They had 3 in double figures. Shamaria Bridges, en route to an eventual SoCon Player of the Week honor. She recorded 21 points in this one, 8 of 9 from the floor with 5 tray balls. Tiana Tartar injected 11 points into her stat line with 10 assists for a double-double. But it was a coming-out party for Kelsey Marisites, the freshman, taking over. The former Elizabethton Cyclone finished with a career-high 18 points on 7 of 10 from the floor. Marisites' previous high was just 5 points, and the Bucs win 76-57, collecting another SoCon victory, now winners of 3 of their last 4. Well, Coach Forbes and the Bucs on the road in Greenville. ETSU lost 74-70 inside Timmons Arena last year. Did not start off as an off game for the Bucs, as A.J. Merriweather throws the hammer down for an early lead. Moments later, Isaac Banks for the inside look, and it's a 5-point gap. But here come the Paladins, a 15-2 run, and the scoring threats of the Paladins such as Chris Aycock shining on their home floor. Other than a couple downtown bullets from T.J. Cromer, a poor shooting first half had the Bucs trailing by 10. Believe it or not, it got worse as an 11-1 Furman run to begin the second stanza added fuel to the fire. The Bucs down by as many as 27 points. With just over 5 minutes to go, there was some hope of a comeback as A.J. Merriweather helped whittle the deficit to 11. 10-point gap eventually as close as it would get. Furman 75, ETSU 62. Next in line, Wofford at Freedom Hall, and it was a scoring parade for both teams from the first whistle. ETSU 64% from the field in the first half for 41 total points. Big numbers. Big half as well for A.J. Merriweather as he had 12 in the first 20 minutes. David Burrell with 8 points in the same time frame on the other side. A wicked shooting display for Fletcher McGee. Last year's SoCon Freshman of the Year had 16 points in the first stanza alone. A 4-point game going into the locker room. DeSante Bradford with an and one jumper to put the Bucs up 7. A strong game overall for Burrell as he came up with 12 off the bench. Cromer and Bradford led the Bucs with 17 points apiece. And with ETSU needing separation, a massive and one bucket for Cromer. With under 2 minutes remaining, the Bucs stave off Mike Young's motion offense. They moved to 5-2. In the league with Samford up next Wednesday night. A 3-1 weekend for ETSU men's and women's basketball as they continue their Southern Conference schedule. Next week we'll have more highlights for you. But over at Blacksburg, Virginia, ETSU women's tennis with 2 matches, and the track and field team was in the Hokie Invitational. Simeon Roberts was the lone Buck to win his event in the 3,000 meters. Roberts ran an incredible time of just over 8 minutes and 26 seconds. Also on the men's side, Matthew Moore made it to the 60-meter finals. As for the women, Katrina Seymour placed in the top 5 of the 400, and Caitlin Lay and Emily Lord cracked the top 10 of the 800 meters. Staying in Blacksburg, women's tennis dropped their first match of the weekend to Virginia Tech 5-2. Marina Guinart and Yi Chi Ma with singles victories for the Bucs. Ma and Alori Perea teamed up to win a doubles match. The next day, ETSU upended Troy 4-3. A top 100 player in the country, Iona Marcassini picked up the win as the top singles player. Guinart and Perea with singles wins as well. 2 of the 3 doubles matches also went ETSU's way as well. The blue and gold hit the court at Liberty next time out this Saturday. All right, 4 Southern Conference basketball games for you next week. And then the men's tennis team will head out to Southern California to take on USC and San Diego. For our entire crew, I've been Parker Schwartz. This has been another edition of Buc Update Central.